back to Allen Presents. I'm going to start off the video today. I'm Leanne, and I'm joined by my co-host, Alan. You may be wondering why we are doing our predictions video for Full Gear so early, considering it's a full week until the event. And there's obviously...
well, nearly a full week.
Nearly a full week. There's obviously the weekly events that we won't have covered. Basically, I've just got some family stuff that I've got to go sort out. So we thought we'd get this in now. A lot of the matches have been announced, so we're able to do some predictions. And then we'll come back as normal for our reactions after the event. I think that's sort of the explanation, so I'll hand over to you.
So, unlike WWE, there isn't monthly pay-per-views.
Mm-hmm.
I can actually use the term pay-per-view for all Elite Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And the last one was All Out, which was in September. We'll cover some of the ramifications of that as we go through this, because there's some pretty big stuff that went down there, which we've covered already, but we'll glance over it slightly. So, much like always, we're going to do slightly different fashion because this is so early. So we're going to do non-title matches. Then we're going to do a bit of, I guess, fantasy booking, like what matches we think might turn up in this sort of coming week of Dynamite Rampage, followed by the title matches and one other thing sort of thrown in there as well. So the first thing we're going to cover is the I can't remember the exact name for it now. It's not like the Full Gear All Elite Eliminator Tournament or something like that, or Championship Tournament, whatever it is. They start off with 8 guys: Eddie Kingston, Ethan Page, Bandido, Roosh, Lance Archer, Ricky Starks, Brian Cage, and Dante Martin. They've had 3 of these matches take place thus far on Dynamite and Rampage last week. So one that didn't happen was supposed to happen on Rampage was Lance Archer versus Ricky Starks.
Yes.
They had Lance Archer sort of attack Ricky Starks, and sort of they postponed it to Dynamite this coming Wednesday. I guess they're doing that because it was just a bit of a cold match as opposed to having a thing to it. Maybe there wasn't enough interest going into it. I'm not sure. But obviously by having Lance Archer attack Ricky Starks, it puts a lot of heat on Archer and a lot of, Ricky Starks will get his revenge kind of...
Yeah. Gives more sort of stakes to it.
Yeah, a bit more stroke to it. So, as it stands then, again, playing a bit of fancy booker first off. Archer versus Starks, who's winning that match?
I'd have probably said Archer before the attack, and now I feel like maybe Starks will win it.
So, if that's the case, then the semi-finals will look like All Ego Ethan Page versus Bandido. Who's winning that?
Oh. I'm going to say Bandido.
Okay. I think Ethan Page is winning that one.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the other side of the brackets, then in the semi-finals, if Starks wins, he's fighting Brian Cage. Who's winning that one?
I want to say Cage. I don't know. But then is the attack building up Starks to win it? No, I'm going to say Starks.
Yeah, I think Starks is winning that, and I reckon the tournament final in my mind will be Ethan Starks versus Ethan Starks? Ethan Page versus Ricky Starks in the finals, which is a match we will see in the event, but you're saying it's going to be Bandido versus Starks.
Yeah.
Out of those then, who do you think is going to win?
Out of Bandido and Starks?
Yeah.
Starks.
Yeah. And for me, it would be Ethan Page versus Starks. I think they're going to start to get ready to give Starks a push.
Yeah.
If it's not for the AEW title, so the winner of this tournament gets a title match at the Winter is Coming Dynamite, which is in I think it's 3 weeks' time on Dynamite. Then obviously they're going to get a title match.
Yeah.
I think they're ready to sort of give Starks that elevation he kind of needs. Now he's sort of on his own. He's not in Team Taz and whatnot. So obviously we'll get over to the sort of title match later on. Oh, excuse me. We'll get to the title match, the main event afterwards. But now we're going to go into the first of our non-title matches.
Yes.
First up, we're going to have Dr. Britt Baker, D.M.D. versus Saraya. So, Britt Baker and Toni Storm have had a quite a would I class it as a long rivalry? I don't know if I class it as long, but it's been about a month or two, and they've been going back and forth. And obviously, Britt Baker's got the numbers because she's got Jamie Hayter, she's got Rebel or Reba, whatever she's calling herself that particular week. And they obviously they sort of pile on Toni Storm, and something else comes out and they pile on them, but it's always the numbers advantage. Then one week this is happening, and Saraya decides to show up.
Yes.
And everyone's like, "Oh, it's Saraya!" And I'm like, "Oh, it's Saraya." Okay, great. I always felt Paige in WWE and NXT is what she was called, was overrated. She has a bit of a... She has gone through rehab. She has an addiction issue, but she's also she can be quite toxic as well. So I don't know if this is a good acquisition for the company or not. Especially with the former stuff recently with CM Punk.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
Are you trading one toxic entity for another? You know, all you got to do is go and look back at the stuff with her and Alberto Del Rio from a few years back, where the police involved and everything and that, and just restraining orders, and that was messy. But then obviously this week they've been teasing it, and Saraya's come down to the ring, and there's been no physicality, there's been no sort of physical altercations, and then it's like Britt Baker's, I like Britt Baker, I think she's a good heel.
Yeah. And
then there was like, we're going to have a sit-down interview between Saraya and Britt Baker. Britt Baker didn't show up, and then Saraya's like, I got to speak to one more doctor. We'll talk about that next week. And then last week on Dynamite, they're both in the ring, and she's like, well, you know what? I'm cleared, and it's me and you at Full Gear. And I'm like, right, okay. And then she hits, I don't know what she's calling the move here. I can't remember what it's called in WWE, because it's been like 5 years since the injury. But I don't know, I'm not really looking forward to this match, if I'm perfectly honest. And the problem is, I kind of think I know who they're going to push on this one.
Yeah.
And I really don't want that to happen.
Yeah. I mean, I think I saw some of Paige while I've been watching, but not a lot, I think. So I don't really have much to go on other than the docu... Not the docu. You know, they did the film on her life.
Oh, Fighting With My Family.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
That one. Couldn't remember what it was called. And I saw it obviously on like Divas and that sort of thing.
And you could see how much she acts up on Divas.
Yeah, she does act up.
A lot.
But I don't know, there's something about her that's quite intriguing, I think. So I guess that's part of what the draw is. And it is like amazing that she's been medically cleared after so long. And like medicine's moved on a long way in the last few years. So a lot of wrestlers are like Edge came back after being told he could never wrestle again, and now Saraya. What I'm mostly worried about is that her first match back is on a pay-per-view, and we, other than little bits of fighting and brawling in the ring, I am worried about ring rest. I'm sure she's been training
5
and
years
practicing,
is a long time.
and but I guess we'll see.
That's going to depend on when she was cleared.
Yeah. But I never had that worry with Edge.
Yeah.
That he'd have ring rest coming in. I don't know what the
difference
is.
The difference is we didn't know he was coming back until he just popped up at Royal Rumble.
Yeah, that's true.
That was the difference. It wasn't like, oh, Edge is coming back. He's in the Royal Rumble. It was, here's number 20, whatever it was. You think you know me, and the crowd loses their mind. There was no doubt or thoughts about ring rest because nobody knew he was coming back.
That's true. And whereas Saraya's come back and they've been like, well,
like a
we
month,
don't know. Is she cleared? Is she not cleared?
And it's not just been like 1 or 2 weeks. It's been like a good month. And it's like, well...
So she came back to WWE to do, like, it was like a desk job.
It was like a talk show thing they had for Fox, It was for Fox,
Yeah, I think she's been on camera doing speaky stuff, but...
Well, that's not been for a few years as well.
Yeah, so I don't know, it's one to watch. I think it could go one way or the other, but I think I know where you're going with the who's going to be pushed, and I'd agree if I've got your prediction right, that Saraya's probably going to win it.
Yeah, Saraya's going to win it. They're not going to have her come back in and lose straight off the bat like that.
No. They want to bring her in as a credible threat.
The only way that match ends in favour of Britt Baker is if she gets injured in the match.
Yeah.
That's
it
the
could
only way.
happen.
That's the only way. And now, I don't know where this has come from. I saw someone tweeting about this. I think it was last night. Apparently, Saraya can return to the ring as long as she doesn't take any bumps to her back area.
How?
If that's true, that's not going to work. So, like, the one of the basic moves, like the first thing they teach you is a flat back bump.
Yeah.
So, no German suplexes, no suplexes, no DDTs.
Yeah, if that is true, that's such a limit on
Just
what
get
they
the
can
hell
do.
out of the ring and let the professionals do it.
And also such a risk, because even if you're not doing those specific moves, it could easily happen by accident.
Yep. So my wonder is, in this case, if that is true, and I'm not saying it is, it's only speculation from what I saw, if it is true, is this just going to be like a 5-minute squash match? which will make Britt Baker look absolutely awful.
I'm worried now. You've made me worried about this match.
I've been worried about this match since I heard about it.
I was a little worried, but now I'm real worried.
Right, let's get back into non-worry territory then.
Okay.
So next match is a tag team match, and we've got Sting and Darby Allin versus Jay Lethal and JEFF JARRE That's Double J Jeff Jarrett. Like, when he showed up on Dynamite like 2 weeks ago, I lost my mind. I was like, wait a minute. Because obviously they're teasing Sting. And it's like, they had a match with Darby Allin and Jay Lethal. It was a return match from a couple of weeks or like a month prior, wherever it was. And you had someone come out dressed as Sting. It wasn't in the makeup. It was like a plastic mask thing.
Yeah. Had
the trench coat on, and he distracted Darby Allin, and obviously Jay Lethal picks up the win or whatever. And they start beating him down after the match. It's revealed that Cole Carter from the factory is the guy in the Sting mask, and then Sting's music starts playing. So they all jump out the ring and they're looking at the ramp. They're like, "Where's Sting? Where's Sting?" Even Lethal was like, "Is he in the rafters?" Which I thought was a really cool. I thought that was really cool that the Lethal did that. It's a good way of selling that. Yeah, that's the nice touch. Yeah. But then sort of you see someone jumping in the ring behind with a guitar and a black hat, and it's like, wait. There's only really one or two guys that have used guitars as their gimmick of choice. One of them is Elias. The other is Jeff Jarrett. Elias is obviously under contract, so he's not Elias. So that guy wasn't big enough to be Elias, and Elias doesn't wear hats. And then you see the face, and it's like, what the F? Jeff Jarrett.
And that guitar shot.
Oh, that was brutal. Ooh. Brutal.
I don't know if they put stuff in there to make, like... Because when it hit, it was like an explosion of, like, dust or...
It's usually gimmicked, yeah. They're usually gimmicked.
It looked so good, and you had Darby Allin then lying there with just a little pool of blood around his head. It's like, it was so good.
But like Jeff Jarrett was employed by WWE like a month and a half ago. Like what? He was at SummerSlam. He was the referee for the Profits and the Usos.
Yeah, we put him in our reaction video.
It's like, what? What's going on? Jeff Jarrett? And I think he's got an office position in there as well.
Sounds it, yeah.
Which is great. It's absolutely phenomenal from Tony Khan's perspective.
Yeah.
Because Jeff Jarrett is a third generation promoter for wrestling, you know? Yeah, so I'm really surprised by that. One thing I'm kind of wondering if they're doing a swerve on this match is, we haven't seen Sting for a while.
No, we haven't.
Where is he? What's he doing? Why isn't he helping Darby? More importantly, is he going to show up a Full Gear?
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah. What if this is all a swerve?
Yeah. I guess anything could happen this week.
Yeah. That's the issue, obviously, because we haven't seen the Dynamite prior to leading up.
There's a lot of speculation. The whole card could change.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, if that does happen, we'll update our predictions in the description down below. But, so who have you got on this one?
I think Jeff Jarrett and Lethal to win.
I really hope so. I'm tired of seeing Darby Allin and Sting steamroll everyone.
Yeah, I think they've had their run, so just take them down not so gently.
Okay, so after the match is all said and done, let's say, just for example's sake, Sting and Allin win. Okay, just for example's sake, let's play fantasy booker for a minute, okay? What if we get a return after this match? Who did Sting and Darby Allin and Miro beat at All Out?
Oh, quiz time. I can't remember.
House of Black.
Oh, yes.
We've been seeing these vignettes of the House of Black potentially returning. What if the House of Black show up a Full Gear? I'm so ready for seeing the House of Black again.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Good stuff.
The last stuff
should be good.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, Double J can still go. We've seen that. Jay Lethal's phenomenal. Darby Allin and him have had some storming matches. And Sting, as long as he's playing it safe, he can still go as well. And I think Double J is the right person to pair him off with.
Yeah, I could see that being a good matchup.
And they've had feuds before in TNA, so and WCW.
They can pace it well with each other.
Yeah, they've known each other for like decades, so. Yes. Okay, last of our non-title matches that we know of. Jungle Boy Jack Perry versus Luchasaurus in a solid salad steel cage.
Salad?
Solid salad steel cage.
Is it made of lettuce?
Yes. It's lettuce and celery.
Is this to distract the dinosaur?
Yeah. He's a herbivore, right?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Is he?
so it's a steel cage match.
Yes.
Obviously in an effort to keep Christian Cage out. Whether that will actually happen, yeah. Whether that'll actually happen, who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the only way you're going to get more Cage in this is by having Bryan Cage, Ethan Page, and Christian Cage inside the steel cage.
Not again. No. Too many.
Cage, yeah. Oh, wait. Hangman Adam Page and All Ego Ethan Page.
Yes.
Versus Bryan Cage and Christian Cage inside a steel cage.
Page and Cage in a
Page and Page versus Cage and Cage.
in a cage.
You still with us?
Maybe Gage can come Cool. Yeah, this match. So long build up. It just keeps on going, this one. But it's sort of the problem with this, because you've got Luchasaurus has betrayed Jungle Boy, now is with
Christian Cage.
Every now and then you've got Jungle Boy like, you betrayed me, let's fight, and then they fight, and then he gets beat, and then it's like, that's it.
Yeah.
And then he comes back and he's doing the same thing.
Yeah. There needs to have a finite point somewhere.
I just can't visualize that fight going any other way. It's
Yeah, that's why they've put them in a steel cage, I think, so you can escape to win the match.
True, so it gives him that extra sort of way out.
He could maybe bring a pair of handcuffs and handcuff Luchasaurus to the cage and then escape or something. But it's, I don't know, I feel that this needs to be the last one. This needs to be the blow-off. Then he'll probably have another match with Christian Cage when Christian Cage's arm is healed. And that'll be it. And I don't want to see this keep going on and on and on and on and on and on and on.
It's a sad story. But yeah, it should have been done by now.
Yeah.
Jungle Boy needs to move on.
So you going for Jungle Boy or Luchasaurus in this one?
I'm actually finding it tricky because I can't visualize Jungle Boy winning it. But in order to make it stop, I think he needs to win.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with it.
I mean,
to win.
Christian Cage won the last match. Luchasaurus won the last match against him. I think Jungle Boy needs to win this one.
Yeah.
Or he's going to be laughing stock.
Bit of closure.
Yeah.
And then he can... Either Luchasaurus will come back, but actually I kind of like the dark...
I don't want to turn Luchasaurus back yet. It'll be too soon.
So then Jungle Boy maybe even drop the Jungle Boy, because he's moved now to Jungle Boy Jack Perry.
Just
drop
Jack
the
Perry.
Jungle Boy, just be Jack Perry. Move on, get a new best friend. Join best friend.
Doesn't need to. He just needs to be on his own.
Yeah, just do something else.
The problem is with someone like that, because he's been in a team for so long, he needs to find his own feet.
Yeah.
You know?
That'd be good.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. That's the last of the non-title matches. Let's play a little bit of speculation, or again, like I like to call it, fantasy
Let's
booking.
play speculation. It's a new segment.
So there's two matches which I think is going to come out of Dynamite and Rampage this week.
Okay.
As we saw last week, the last few weeks, Powerhouse Hobbs has been kind of taunting Wardlow. And obviously we've had the tag team of Samoa Joe and War Joe. This last week on Dynamite, I believe it was on Dynamite, Samoa Joe turned on Wardlow.
Yeah.
But then, to be fair, Wardlow was shooting his mouth off, saying he's going to take every single belt in the company.
Yeah, they played that really well.
But Joe is the ROH Tag TV title holder, so...
Yeah.
They
built that up. It wasn't a long build up, but it was just creeping in, because he was like interrupting and everything.
Yeah, you could see Joe was like,
it was
not again.
Just expertly timed this one.
Yeah, and Powerhouse Hobbs has been that, like, the gasoline on the fire. So... With that, then, obviously Wardlow is the TNT champion.
Yes.
Samoa Joe is the ROH TV title holder. Is this going to be for both titles, like a winner takes all, or is this just going to be for the TNT title?
I sort of get the feeling that if they're going to have both of them fight each other, they'll do a winner takes all. I don't, but that might be WWE thinking. Don't know.
The issue with that is that Ring of Honor's got their next pay-per-view coming up. That's on, I want to say, the 4th of December. I'm not 100% certain on the date. but the poster was literally Samoa Joe holding that Ring of Honor title.
Okay.
So the way I'm looking at it is, if it's winner takes all, there's no way Joe is losing.
No, that's fair.
So my thought would be it's just for the TNT title.
Can we just have FTR come in and take them both anyway? They need more titles. I don't think they've got enough.
So I mean that's one speculation.
Yep.
For one match, but then the other one, that's a good segue actually. FTR would be potentially facing the Ass Boys. Or are they calling it the Gun Club thing? But yeah, Ass Boys. Because obviously Ass Boys have been sort of taunting FTR for the last few weeks, being a ringside with their cardboard belts and their skull caps and mocking the FTR.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
But again, if that's the case, would it be for the ROH titles, the IWGP titles, or the Triple R titles?
Or the cardboard titles.
Or the cardboard titles.
Give them to FTR.
Make it, yeah. It's the Ass Boys title. The Ass Boys Tag Team Championship.
Yes.
But that's another speculation. I think that potentially we'll have FTR and the Ass Boys.
That'd be good.
Maybe even pre-show. Maybe it won't be a title match. Maybe it'll just be
Possibly.
a fight. You know, which would be good because FTR on a pay-per-view is what you want.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah, interesting. I like those speculations. Thank you for playing.
Okay, I did trim my moustache. Now we're moving into the title matches. I've kind of almost put this in my order of least to most anticipated, apart from the main event.
Sure.
Okay, so the one I'm least looking forward to is Toni Storm defending her title against Jamie Hayter.
Yeah.
Which is the AEW Women's Championship. As we said earlier, Toni Storm and Britt Baker have had a bit of a feud going on. They brought Hikaru Shida into this. Riho's been involved. Athena's been involved. I think pretty much 90% of the women's... Well, that's probably a bit high. Probably about 60 or 80, 70% of the locker room has been involved in this feud one way or another.
Yeah.
And it's just getting a bit yawn. You know?
Yeah.
I'm not that high on Toni Storm. I don't think she's as good as people make out. I'm probably going to cop a lot of flack from that, but I don't care because everyone can have an opinion.
Yeah.
And that is my opinion. I don't see anything special in Toni Storm right now.
I just really hate her music.
Has she got potential? Yes, she does.
Yeah.
Is she at that point right now where she should be holding the main women's title in the company? I don't believe so. I understand that it's because Thunder Rosa was out injured, but I still believe that even if Thunder Rosa wasn't injured and they did have that match roll out, Toni Storm would have won the title.
Yeah.
So we'd still be in the same position we are now. Now, on the other hand of things, Jamie Hayter's been really impressing. She was like a lackey. She's really come into her own, especially again during the All Out, that fatal 4-way, and Britt Baker stopped getting the win, and there was that Rocky thing there, and then she took... And I've been quite enjoying that dynamic, because Jamie Hayter's progressing that character, whereas Toni Storm's just like, I'm a rebel. Here's my belt. Here's my glasses.
Yeah.
You know, I think there needs to be something more done with Toni Storm. Like I said, I think she's got potential. She could go far, but she needs to have, I don't know, something change.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like the same thing, slight tangent, same thing with Bianca Belair.
Yeah.
It's almost, Toni Storm for me is the Bianca Belair of AEW.
Yeah, I could see
She's
that.
floundering, she's got the belt, she's not really doing anything special with it. You know?
Yeah.
Whereas Ronda Rousey's going out and kicking ass, taking names. She's teamed up with Shayna Baszler, who's busted Natalia's nose, dislocated her nose. Natalia's going to be out for, I think it said, about at least 3 months because of it. That's legit. That's not a work.
Yeah.
That's real. She literally, I think she just must have gone a bit too hard, dislocated Natty's
Sat
nose.
on her face, pretty much.
I think it was the knee. It was the knee that did it. Yeah, Shayna kneed her in the face
It was someone
first.
else who got sat on the face, I think.
No, it was Shayna's knee. She kneed her in the face backstage.
Ooh.
And I think she might have hit her a bit too hard. Accidents happen, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at Moxley and Hangman.
Yeah.
A simple clothesline, and Hangman's out with a concussion.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? That was wild.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really got much else to say about this. Hayter's been kicking ass, taking names. She's been sort of getting a lot of fanfare behind her. A lot of people are chanting for Hayter.
Yes.
Which is pretty cool. And I like the fact that it's a British person being elevated again. Kind of like Drew McIntyre with Roman Reigns. He's elevated that position. Jamie Hayter's almost like the Drew McIntyre, but in the female section of AEW right now.
Female Drew McIntyre of AEW.
Yeah, which I can get behind. And she is good. You know, she's really come a long way. When she started, it's like, oh, right, okay, fair enough. But now she's like, oh, okay, she's really good, actually. Who have you got winning this?
I think Toni.
Yeah.
I can't see him dropping it, even though we might want it.
I still believe, and even though there's been no talk of when she's coming back, I reckon they're going to hold that belt on her until Thunder Rosa comes back.
Quite likely, yeah.
Which is a bit of a waste. Because if Thunder Rosa can't come back for 6 months, we got 6 months of Toni time.
And what's the point having an interim champion if it doesn't really mean anything?
And if it doesn't change hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it might surprise us.
Because if you're out with an injury, the people aren't going to stick around and wait for like 6, 8, 12 months, whatever it is for the length of the injury. Things are going to happen, titles are going to change. Yeah. So that interim belt should be up for grabs for anyone.
Yeah, it would be more meaningful then if like she comes back and then has to defend against someone she's like never wrestled before or or someone who used to be a friend. There could be a lot of possibilities with that.
Okay. Next up, the Tag Team Championships. Excuse me, we have the Acclaimed versus Swerve in Our Glory.
Yeah.
First things first, Leanne. Scissor me, Leanne, ass.
Oh, don't call me that. Just stick to daddy.
I'm not calling you my daddy, that's weird.
Just scissor me then. I don't know.
Leanne, can we try and keep this PG, please?
I will if you will.
I am keeping it PG.
This is going to be a good match.
This is going to be a hell of a match.
It's gonna be
this is the third of the trilogy.
Yes.
The first one, edge of your seat. Acclaim should have won the first one. I still stick to my guns on that one.
Yeah.
They won it, obviously, on Dynamite. I think it was 2 or 3 weeks after the last event. And that was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Swerve and Keith Lee have obviously had their issues.
Yes.
And there's a bit more of a split coming between the team by the looks of it. Especially with when Keith Lee hit the ring and then the Acclaim come out. Right, cut the crap, where's Billy?
Yeah.
And Keith Lee's like, what are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. Where's Swerve? I don't know where Swerve is. And then on the Tron, on the screen, Swerve has taken Billy Gunn hostage and he's sort of cutting his fingers and stuff. Well, cutting his fingers.
He broke his fingers.
Yeah. But I don't. They don't look like cutters to me. See.
Yeah, but
that's where I got confused. Yeah, they said pliers, but they weren't pliers.
It was pretty dark stuff.
Yeah, which I liked. I thought that was really cool.
And not something you expect to see from Swerve particularly. No. But it really did drive home that rift between him and Keith Lee.
Hey Leanne, who's abattoir? Swerve's abattoir.
I still think Paige and Saraya and Swerve need to have a fight over whose house it actually is.
Yeah, that's one thing I meant to mention today, actually. This is my house. Yeah, okay, get over your 12-year-old gimmick, please. And that's the thing as well. Oh, I was in this business for 30 years. No, you're 30 years old. Doesn't mean you've been wrestling for 30 years.
Because there's a famous story of her mother wrestling when she was pregnant with her.
No. So, I mean, the Acclaimed have been just nailing it. Absolutely crushing it every single week. So good. Billy Gunn in their corner, phenomenal stuff.
Yep.
I mean, they had that 8-man tag match with FTR, and FTR showed them respect. FTR is probably one of the best tag teams in the world today.
Yeah.
You know? One thing I would love to see, if we ever get the Forbidden Door scenario of AEW crossing over with WWE, FTR versus the Usos.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's a dream.
Oh my god. I've just got chills thinking about that. Look at that. Oh.
Yeah, that's cool.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think we speculated last time with All Out that Swerve and Keith Lee would sort of maybe come to a head and they'd break up at that point. I think there's no other point in this particular storyline where it's gotten to that. Oh, right, this one thing is going to go wrong and it's not going to be Keith Lee the snapped, it's going to be Swerve.
Yeah.
Swerve's going to be the definitive heel, Keith Lee will be the face, and that'll be the dynamic for it. As previously, it would have been the other way around.
Yeah.
Keith Lee would have been the heel, Swerve would have been the face. But this has just flipped it straight on its head. Swerve's gone down that dark route. One thing will go wrong, Swerve will be like, nah, you're not worth this anymore. And it'll cost them the match, I think.
Yes.
So that's my prediction, is the Acclaimed are going to keep the belts.
I 100% agree, because everybody loves the Acclaimed. It's so weird. I kind of love it.
No, the Acclaimed, I just absolutely love the Acclaimed right now. They're so good.
They are just making money.
Yeah. Selling shirts, kicking ass, taking names, keeping belts, scissoring,
crazy things,
scissoring left, right, and centre.
Just having a fun time.
The
That's all we need
Billy
more
birthday
of.
bash was great. I loved that.
So
It was
good.
so fun.
And they got the scissors from the kid in the crowd to give him as a birthday present.
And then Billy's hugging them.
Happy birthday from
cute.
that kid and from us.
That was great. And then the adoptions.
Yeah.
Ah, that was great.
It's so good.
Anyway, we could probably talk about the Acclaimed all day, but
All day.
let's move on, because we're conscious about these running long. So, the one woman's match that I wasn't expecting to be most anticipated for on this card, okay? TBS Championship match.
Oh, yes.
Jade Cargill defending her TBS Championship against Nyla Rose.
Yeah, who currently has the championship.
Technically, the TBS champion.
Well, self-proclaimed.
Because possession is 9/10 of the law, right?
Yeah, I think this is the match. This is the storyline at the moment that is really reigniting the women's division in AEW.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's been flat for ages. It started off pretty good and then just went down.
The TBS title has just become a bit of a... It's an open challenge, okay.
Yeah, but now...
That's it.
Just genuine, like, they're having a great time. Jade's actually showing emotion, which she never did. So her character's developing.
Yeah.
It's just seeing all these layers of what wrestling, what sports entertainment should be.
Mm-hmm. No, call it wrestling, because that's AEW.
Yes, but it's the entertainment side.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's, I don't know, I agree. This is gonna be a creep.
And it's like, just to like preface this, I've made it no secret that I'm not a fan of Nyla Rose.
Yes.
I've not really, I don't get it. I'm not a big fan of it. She's always like so serious and so like, oh well, I'm the biggest thing, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, well, that's just something that's been done a million times before. It's old, it's stale. Get over that. You do something more fun and a bit more different to that. And that's what she's been doing with this. Yeah. So there was a point where Jade was fighting someone and Nyla comes in with Vicky and Marina and they steal the TBS title. Yeah. And they still have possession of it. Mm-hmm. Which is like, wait, what? Okay, so I hadn't seen this in a long time. This is interesting. So obviously that's been the thing then. Like Jade's coming down and Nyla's got her own security force and Jade's just been beating these guys up left, right, and center because Jade's massive, you know. Yeah. And then like you see Jade in the ring with someone like Anna Jay or Sky Blue or whoever, and Jade towers over them and she's intimidating. But then you put her in the ring with Nyla Rose, and while Nyla Rose might not be as tall, she's got the build and the stockiness and the strength to it. Yeah. Yeah. So this could be a lot more of a fair match than any other match that Jade's ever had. Yes. So at this point then, you've got streak versus title. Jade wants her belt back, but she's also got this, is it like 41 or 42-0, something like that?
One of those, yeah.
Winning streak, which obviously she's going to value, and as soon as she loses that, she's probably going to snap and go beating some people up. But obviously on the other side of this, you've got the baddies. Yes. You've got... I can't remember one of the name, but the other's Kira Hogan. I can't remember the other girl's name off the top of my head. But then you've also got Marina Shafir and Vicky Guerrero with Nyla Rose.
Excuse me. He's so loud.
And then, was it a few weeks ago on Rampage, Jade comes out and she's throwing a fit. And she sort of puts the chair in the middle of the ring and she's like, right, I'm not moving here till I get my belt back. Nyla Rose, get your ass out here. And the baddies are standing there and they're like, yeah, bring her out. And then on the screen, you see Nyla appear and she's sitting in this car. And she's like, oh, thanks for the lift. I really appreciate it. And it's like, wait, what? Yeah, I just spoke to the valet and they gave me your keys and this is your car. So I'm taking your car as well. So not only has Nyla Rose got possession of the belt, she's just stolen Jade's car too. And it's like... This is great. This is really good stuff. And she's having fun with it. Nyla's having a laugh. And that's kind of what you want. And I kind of liken it to... You look at Brock Lesnar of like 5 years ago and you look at Brock Lesnar now. Cowboy Brock. That's Nyla Rose. Nyla Rose 3 years ago is like, moody, blah, blah, blah. And now she's like just having fun with it. And I think that's what the character needed and what she needed as a person.
Definitely.
I think that's fantastic. So... This is probably a tricky one.
It's really hard.
What have you sort of got in vision for this one, or who do you think's going to win it?
It's really difficult because I kind of want this like almost cat and mouse thing to keep going. In which case you should, I don't know, maybe Jade should win, but then Nyla runs off with the belt, and then keeps the same thing going. But then if Nyla wins, then it breaks a streak, and it's like a whole thing.
I mean, you could flip it as well. Though. You could have Nyla win and Jade run off with the belt.
I kind of want to see that. I think this one is really difficult to call. It could go any way, and I think whatever outcome, it's gonna be really fun. I think I'm gonna go with Nyla.
Nyla?
Yeah, I think.
I mean, I guess with that, you could probably think if Nyla's gonna win it, then Jade comes in and she's all PO'd and she's too aggressive, and then obviously makes mistakes.
Yes.
I think in terms of wanting to see how this goes further and just keeps on going, because I want to see this go on for a little bit more, I would like to see the baddies get involved.
Yeah.
Cost Nyla the match.
Okay.
And Jade wins. But one of Nyla's gang, like Vicky Guerrero or Marina Shafir, steals the belt back before they can grab it.
Yeah, that could work.
So at that point, you keep the streak alive, with Jade obviously winning like 40, 42 or 43 or whatever the number actually is.
Yeah.
It means you might have a match on Dynamite or Rampage, we don't know, and it'll escalate even more.
Who knows?
But I'd like to see Jade win, but Nyla still keep retention of that belt.
Yeah. And if it's done by interference, then Nyla has like more of a claim to the belt.
Yeah.
And it could lead to other things.
Yeah, you can't beat me clean. And then you could lead into like baddies in a steel cage, in a Shark Tank, or a steel cage match, or something like that.
Yeah, okay. That sounds
some sort of gimmick. So I'm gonna go with Jade.
Okay. Is that the first one we disagreed on?
Yes.
Had to be one.
Yeah. Okay. Next up is what I'm gonna start coining as my potential banger of the night. This is gonna be the banger of the night, potentially.
You have a banger banner.
I'm sure I can knock something up.
Banger.
Yeah, maybe not for this video, but I'll try and do something for the. Yeah.
Just use your imagination for now.
Well, he's the guy from South Park, Imagination Land. So we've got the Ocho, the Wizard, the Ayatollah of Rock and Roller, the main man himself, Chris Jericho, defending his Ring of Honor Championship against Claudio Castagnoli of the Blackpool Combat Club. Also fighting Sammy Guevara of the JAS, the
Justice League,
the Jericho Appreciation Society, and the fourth man rounding out this fatal four-way is Bryan Danielson, also of the Blackpool Combat Club.
Really interesting matchup.
I like the dynamic that they've got. There's two of each in there. I mean, I think they're actually doing a tag team match on Dynamite this week, or it's Jericho and Sammy against Claudio and Bryan. Now, the last few weeks we've seen Bryan get a bit of a, I don't say hump on, it's probably the wrong term, but he's not really been getting along very well with the other members of the BCC.
No.
Or is what did Daniel Garcia call them? The Blackpool Cowards Club or Cheaters Club? Blackpool Cheaters Club.
Yeah.
And he's kind of had a bit of a spat with Wheeler Yuta, and Claudio's tried to step in, and he's kind of had a bit of a spat with him.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay, we're seeing the seeds of dissent and the breaking up of the Blackpool Combat Club here.
Yeah.
We might do.
Yeah.
But as it stands, you've got two from JAS and two from BCC.
Yes.
However, not everything is all hunky-dory in JAS either.
No.
As you said with Sammy Guevara, back when we were watching it, and the lucky shot when Jericho was like, if it comes down to the two of us, I know you'll do the right thing.
Excuse me. Yeah, because obviously he wants to win. Who doesn't? Why would he be in the match if he didn't want to win it himself?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's the Jericho Appreciation Society. He's there for Jericho.
Yeah, exactly. So lay your damn shoulders down on the mat, Sammy. But
he's got such a big ego.
But like, you look at all four of these guys, and the one with probably the least experience in this match is Sammy Guevara.
Yes.
And look at the stuff he can do.
I know. He's insane.
And obviously the most experience is Chris Jericho.
Yes.
You know, he's been wrestling since the 90s. I never really saw much of his ECW stuff or WCW stuff when he was in those companies. And the first time I saw Jericho was during the Millennium Countdown. And it was counting down to August and nobody knew what the hell was going on. And the Rock's in the ring and the countdown flashed up on the screen. Flashes 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then the music starts, and then in bold letters, boom, Jericho, and the crowd goes nuts, and he's standing there and he's doing his pose, and he's got the blonde hair, and he's got a kind of like Gene Simmons, almost like tied up in that sort of top knot kind of thing, and it was great, and he was chewing up the Rock so hard on the mic. I'm not a Jericho fan, shut up. I'm not biased. Oh, this whole thing, I just threw this on. But, I mean, to be fair, you've probably biased as well.
I think I'm a little biased.
Why are you biased, Leanne?
Because Jericho held my hand.
Chris Jericho held my fiance's hand.
This one.
That hand there.
That's all you get. Sorry, he was wearing gloves anyway.
Yeah. We went to see Fozzy in our hometown the other night.
It was such a good show.
Yeah, it really was. We managed to get right in the front. So good.
Yeah, my hand. Not biased at all. Jericho's winning. Calling it. I am actually, but not because of the hand holding.
Yeah, I really want. I'm gonna put that down. So I'm picking Jericho to win as well.
Yeah, cool.
I really want to see him carry on winning because he's got
Yeah.
this whole open challenge from former ROH champions and
Yes.
stuff, which I think is great.
Uh-huh.
You know, when he started off with just world champs, former world champs, come at me, and then you had Dalton Castle and you had Colt Cabana show up. And he's beating up like Ian Riccaboni, who's the commentator or the ring announcer, and the backstage interviewers and stuff. And it's like, okay, cool. And then all of a sudden he's like, tag team champion, pure champion, women's champion. I don't care, bring them on. And it's like, this is going to get interesting.
Yes, we want more of that.
I want to see the Briscoes. I want to see the Briscoes come in and start beating up Jericho.
Yes. Oh my god.
Them
Yes.
boys.
Them boys. So the way I kind of see this match going is Danielson and Claudio clashing over something. So they've got the differences. So they're gonna clash and like write themselves out of the match. And then Sammy is gonna nearly win it, but then Jericho's gonna screw him over somehow, and then Jericho's gonna win.
Yeah.
That's my prediction.
I mean, it's a fatal four-way, so there's no disqualifications, right? So, how many more members are there in the JAS?
There's lots.
There's like 5, including the women. How many more are BCC?
Couple.
2. But that includes Mox.
Yeah.
Well, 3 if you count William Regal, but him and Mox will be prepping for the title match.
Yeah.
So he ain't going to be showing up to save nobody's ass.
Nope.
So you got Wheeler Yuta running out against Angelo Parker, Cool Hand Luke Menard,
Yeah.
Daniel Garcia, Tame Mello, and Anna JAS.
And I don't think Wheeler Yuta's gonna be running out to save Danielson.
Nope. Not by a long shot.
No, they don't like each other.
No, not at the moment anyway. Yeah, so that's my predicted banger of the night. I think that's probably going to be that. It's either going to be that one or the Acclaimed. It's probably going to steal the show, but I think it's going to be this one.
Probably. It's gonna be so good.
Yeah. So we got one more match to cover. But first.
I sense a quiz coming on. Tell me this
But
isn't
first.
a quiz.
It is a quiz.
No!
Damn your spidey senses. Damn your quizzy senses. Okay.
You just give me that look and I'm like, quiz.
So, All Out. Happened in September. Yeah?
That was like 2 whole months ago.
What happened after All Out? What set the wrestling world on fire?
Oh, yeah. CM Punk happened.
CM goddamn Punk.
So he won the belt, and then something happened, kicks off.
Oh, he's injured,
press
yeah.
conference,
He got injured
got
again.
injured. Yeah, and then there's like a fight with him and the Elite, and
So
a dog is involved at some point.
So at the scrum, he throws a lot of shade at the Elite, basically calls them trash. Then after that, the Elite kind of go and be like, what the hell's going on? And a fight breaks out.
There's biting, but not by the dog,
No.
by the person holding the dog.
Ace Steel bit Kenny Omega.
Weird.
So, I mean, bitch is a term for a dog. Ace Steel is CM Punk's bitch. Does that mean CM Punk's dog still bit Kenny Omega?
I could say
Because
that.
Ace Steel's a bitch.
Yeah, so
I'm saying it. I'm saying
that's a bit crazy. They all got suspended.
Yes.
Rightly so. Investigation and everything into what happened.
Whilst we don't know what the outcome of said investigation was, it has been stated that the investigation is done.
Cool.
The investigation is over. CM Punk showed up on a UFC show doing commentary the other night.
So it's quite clear that he's not coming back to AEW.
Good. Stay the F away.
Yeah. It could have been great. It could have been great.
It could have been.
I think he just ruined it for himself and for everyone.
The problem is, it was same with WWE. If he can't get his way, the toys get thrown out the pram.
Yeah.
Quite firmly.
As soon as he got that belt.
Well, he got the belt and he got injured.
Yeah.
And then he kind of started, I guess he started blaming other people for it. Well, no, mate, you blame yourself because you're the one that probably injured yourself. And then he wins this one again, he gets injured again. And it's okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, back on track. So, I think it was 3 weeks ago on Dynamite, they started showing picture of the Elite again.
Mm-hmm.
So they had like an image and you had the sound running, kind of like WWE recaps, where they play the sound, but they only show a static image.
Yes.
So they've got like the Young Bucks, they've got their hands up, they've got the belts, whatever. And then they fade.
Mm.
And then you see Kenny, and he's doing the same. He's like hands up in victory, and then he fades. And they show a couple of these, and the Young Bucks almost like they're being taken out of history, as it were.
Like a Back to the Future.
Yeah, in a sense. So then they show the All Elite Wrestling logo with the All Elite AEW Wrestling. Elite fades, the E fades, and then everything else fades out. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
Why the hell's going on here? Are they changing the name of the company?
So I was wondering if it was like a sign that the Elite were not going to be in the company anymore. But I think it's a weird way to do it if that was going to be the case.
You wouldn't want to show the faces on the screen because you're bringing it into prominence.
Yeah.
So then that happens for like 2 weeks, and they show the same sort of thing the next week as well. This past Wednesday on Dynamite, or Friday in the UK technically, they showed loads of like, it was like images flicking through like a really quick slideshow almost with some different audio and stuff in the background.
Yeah.
But then they intersplice into that the CGI kind of 3D model effect of the full gear
Like
aesthetic.
The poster
background. The steampunk stuff, with the cogs and the trains and whatnot. And then, so originally the Elite were on, because obviously they're the 6-man trios tag team titles holders. They were on that poster. They were removed after the scrum. I think MJF got put on there and a couple of other people, and then Tony Storm went over CM Punk. Now that exact image is still on the internet because it's the internet. You're not going to get rid of that image ever. So towards the end of this, just like literally about 30 seconds, if that, it shows that exact image again. So it shows the background, and then in come the Elite. Yeah. And it's like the Elite's coming back at full gear. Here we go. The best bout machine's coming back. Yeah. The human highlight machine, Kenny Omega. Here we go. Let's bring him back.
He's
put him
your
back.
boy.
Damn straight he is.
Yeah. It sort of made me think more where I was saying about the fading of the Elite being that my initial thought had been them leaving. More now I'm thinking it's more without the Elite there is no AEW, and that's like more what they were going for.
Maybe.
Which is very true.
Yeah. And like, obviously they're the EVPs, the executive vice presidents of the company, but there has obviously been a lot of criticism from probably WWE marks, let's be perfectly honest, that Matt and Nick and Kenny kind of booked themselves to win everything because they're the EVPs, they have that power to do so. I don't think that's the case. Otherwise, the Young Bucks would have been champions constantly throughout. Yeah. Kenny Omega would have been champion constantly throughout. That's not the case. They get elevated and they get belts because they are that damn good. You know, Young Bucks are one of the best tag teams of the world.
Yeah, it wouldn't make sense for them not to have the title a lot of the time. Yeah. That's how good they are.
Well, the thing is, it's not even a lot of the time. They've probably had it less than half the time the company's been open in existence, you know? Yeah. But then you've had like Madison Reigns come in as a trainer. You've had Jeff Jarrett, which you spoke about earlier, has come in. I think he's gone off his position. You've had all these other sort of people come in as office personnel. Yes. And I'm wondering if the Elite have been pulled out of that to go just into the wrestling side of things right now, and having these other people come in as the office personnel to try and build the company upwards. I
think that's a good idea. I think having the separation between the office and the actual wrestling is beneficial. Although I'm sure they'll still have input into creative, because all the wrestlers should have input into their own
All
creative.
wrestlers have creative input to themselves,
That's one of the fundamental things about AEW, and one of the things that makes it great. So they'll always keep that. But having that separation between the talent and the office, it could save a lot in terms of like complicated stuff and legal problems.
the BS that happened and
the scrum and things. So I think that's a good move if that is the case.
I'll just be happy to see Kenny again.
Yeah, there've been signs for weeks saying that they miss Kenny. Yeah, and we do miss Kenny.
Kenny's great. I mean, the one silver lining of this, I guess, is that even though Kenny did come back and they won the trios titles, he was still looking a bit banged up, a bit sore. Yeah. At least this has given him another 2 months to kind of recoup and recover and sort of get a bit healthier, which is great. Yeah. You know, I'm all for getting Kenny Omega back to health, 100%. He came back earlier than he particularly wanted to because of injuries and stuff. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing him back and kicking some ass. Yeah. Okay. Nice. And then that leads us on to then the last match of the night, the main event, as it were, Leanne.
It's time! Took me a while to catch on there.
For the AEW. No, you've lost it now. You've lost it. The train's left the station, Leanne. Train's left the station. Oh. For the All Elite Wrestling World Championship, John Moxley defends against the devil himself, Maxwell Jacob Friedman.
Oh, this story, man.
He's better than you, and you know it.
MJF was good.
Oh, yeah.
It's like rocketed.
Since returning it all out, he's had like a fire completely lit under his ass.
Yeah, it's insane.
Absolutely.
The storyline, his mic work, the wrestling, it's just...
That's the thing with MJF. He doesn't wrestle much.
No.
But when he does, it's a spectacle. It's like, wow, this is great.
Yeah, and it's the whole like there's more like conflicted feelings that he's showing, which he sort of didn't before, and a lot of I don't know. There's so many layers to this story now that I don't think we can go into it all because we just
it's end up way too long. Yeah,
but it's all led to this match.
I mean, the cliff notes, I guess, would be Regal.
Yeah,
William Regal. And they talked about him trying out for WWE years ago, and Regal basically said, "Look, I'm too busy. Come back when you've got something else."
Yeah. So there's
and
this big promo from MJF, and there's Regal just like looking like the proudest daddy ever.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. And then Regal's like, "You got a long way to go if you want to become like me, an original like what was it? God, what was it?
Original, good old fashioned villain or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Or genuine
Or was
a good decent villain.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was now.
Basically, a villain that he's gonna. It's not like attacking Tony Schiavone like MJF did. Yeah. But he's still a bad guy. Like William, an ordinary decent villain.
That's it. William Regal is like always about the brass knucks, and MJF's always about the dynamite diamond ring.
Yeah.
But MJF uses the ring to win, whereas Regal used the knucks because he just likes beating people up with knucks.
Yeah.
That's how it was likened. Yeah. That was a great way to put it.
And that's sort of brought into this match because MJF has promised that he will not use the ring.
Yeah.
And is he going to keep to it?
So, as I said, we're not going to go and full recap this because it's just worth watching because it's just so good.
Watch it.
They'll probably do a countdown to Full Gear. I don't know if that airs in the UK. They might show it on the YouTube channel. I'm not sure.
Probably. I think I think it's on YouTube usually.
Maybe, yeah. It's worth just watching the recap of this because it is just absolute solid gold. And I like Moxley.
Yeah.
I don't want to see him as champion all the time.
Yeah.
Is my bugbear with this one.
I think he's one of these guys that's better chasing.
He doesn't need the title.
Nah.
He's a fighter. He's a brawler. As long as he's in a scrap, he's happy, you know? I don't see the need to put the belt on. Like, when obviously CM Punk went down and then they had that tournament, they probably should have given it to one of the other guys, like Bryan Danielson. And I think that would have elevated him a little bit more, and I think that would have been cool. But I can see that they're going for the blow over Mox and MJF, which, that's fine.
Yeah.
So, okay, before we go any further in speculation what's going to happen, who do you think's going to win?
I'm gonna say MJF.
MJF. All the way. All the friggin' way.
I've never wanted him to win something so bad.
Did you catch what he said on Dynamite last week, though?
I might have missed it.
This event takes place in his hometown.
Oh, yeah, it does. Oh, well, definitely then. It's going to be crazy. The crowd's already behind him at the moment.
Obviously, the match, the original match they were going to go for was obviously going to be CM Punk and MJF.
Yeah.
That rubber match, they've both won one. MJF was going to take it.
Yeah.
Absolutely no qualms. Okay. Now, I think, right, given what we talked about earlier with the Blackpool Combat Club kind of imploding from within, what if William Regal's like, I'm fed up with this. This guy, he's now what I picked. He is the one I saw potential in, 7 years ago?
Yeah.
He is the one that I'm picking, and he's not going to use the Dynamite Diamond Ring. Regal's going to slide him some knucks.
Could do. Or Regal uses the ring.
Or Regal uses the ring, to turn on Moxley.
Then, MJF doesn't use it. If
Regal will get booed out of the building.
And he will love it.
Oh, he will thrive on it. I've always liked William Regal. He's fantastic.
This is going to be a good match.
I'm looking forward to this. Yes. But I absolutely 100% believe the devil is walking out with the gold.
Oh, and he's going to be insufferable.
And it's almost like they're turning him...
love it.
The thing is, it's almost like they're turning him face, because they had the firm turn on him a couple of weeks back.
Yeah, they did.
You know?
I don't think he'll go fully face. He's going to be like an
on that knife edge,
anti-face. Rather than
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like a love to hate him sort of deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's the card. 1, 2, 3, 4... 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 matches we've talked about, and the elite segment. Obviously, the 2 that we've potentially spoken about, and obviously the last of the tournament.
Yes.
We've already picked our bangers of the night. Bangers of the night.
It's gonna be a good show.
If it's anything like All Out, they're gonna jam another 7 matches on Dynamite this week.
So we'll get something into the video description.
We'll keep an eye on social media, and we'll fling up some restrictions.
It might be, especially mainly for me, it probably won't be fully informed predictions of anything because I won't be able to actually watch the shows until I get back from visiting people.
But
But
Yeah.
we'll get something
We'll
out
do
there.
that. But so we'll figure it out. We'll put it in the description. And then obviously we'll be covering the reactions. It happens on next Saturday, which is the 19th. Yeah, 19th.
Yeah.
I had to think about that one. So we'll be able to watch it Sunday because we ain't staying up till like 2 o'clock in the morning. Or
No.
by the time it ends, it'll probably be 6 a.m. We're not doing that.
Yeah, so we'll probably get a reactions video up.
I think it'll Sunday, maybe Monday at the latest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do what we can.
Depending
to
how
fit it
long it is. If it's just a standard 4 hours, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
If it runs for 6 or 7, we might be a bit more pressed for time.
up. With this many matches. Who knows?
Well, I mean, you say that, right? There's a little table there for the thing. If you go back to All Out,
yeah, there's a lot of matches.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 matches.
They like to pack them in.
Yeah. 15 on the last one. So, okay. Are they going to top 15 matches on this card? Yes or no?
No,
No, I believe that. I reckon they probably got a lot of flack from that. It was like, it's too long.
probably.
I think, including the pre-show, 11 or 12 is a good number.
That sounds good. Not
Yeah.
too long, not too short. Got
Yeah.
a good variety.
Yeah.
Happy days.
But that's our predictions for All Out. Full Gear. Take us home, man.
Gonna get us cancelled.
I will not, because I didn't mention pay-per-views in a WWE video.
True. We usually do that. Thank you.
You usually do, though.
Thank you so much for watching. As
Throwing shade on me when it's her doing it.
I'm trying to end the video.
Jericho.
Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate you guys and all our new subscribers from the last few weeks. Welcome. We're very glad to have you here. Tell your friends. We want more.
Ooh, one thing we should probably mention actually is this is going up on a Sunday. Starting sort of tomorrow, we're going to do a weekly post up on our Instagram, and probably it'll get shared to Facebook of things that are coming
Yeah,
in the next week.
we can keep you guys up to date.
So we do have sort of a few comments going, what's coming up this week, what have you got coming this week? It's not going to be like, oh, we got this. It's going to be an image with 3 sort of or 4 thumbnails and the dates, kind of
Little preview.
alluding to what we're doing.
Yeah.
So look forward to that on a Monday.
Yeah, give it a like. Let us know if you like it. That'll be Instagram, probably Twitter and Facebook as well.
Well, I don't know where Twitter's going right now.
It'll be on Twitter.
That's a whole different story.
As long as Twitter is available to us. If you want to find those easily, our link tree is in the video description. So click on that and you'll find our latest sort of what our newest videos are and the quick links to our socials. Let us know in the comments below if who you think's gonna win the elimination tournament thingy.
Yes.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. It'll be cool to see. I mean, if it is Ethan Page, then with our predictions, he's going to be fighting MJF.
Ooh.
That could be good.
Ooh. MJF still has the chip.
Well, no, he's cashed it in.
Oh, that's to cash it in. My
brain.
brain.
The casino chip was to cash in for the title match.
I know what's happening.
Think of it like a Money in the Bank ladder match briefcase.
Yeah, I get you. Anyway, don't tell me off for that. It's the end of the video. It's fine. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell to be notified when we drop new videos. And until next time, keep scissoring.
And watch Full Gear.
That's upside down.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.